So I had just made this video talking about the Exorcist trilogy. Well, y'all, I didn't even know it was a trilogy. I'm over here talking like I already knew. But no, I knew Blumhouse was developing something for The Exorcist just as they did for Halloween. And I made that video, and then a couple of days later, to just yesterday, we have some more news, and that news is that this is actually going to be a trilogy. So they are reporting the New York Times. I mean, the New York Times, we'll get into that some other time, but they're reporting that David Gordon Green, who is a director of Halloween films, will be directing and writing a reboot slash sequel to The Exorcist. I talked about that already. I told y'all that they were making this and all of that, but I got so like hit with a surprise when I read the rest. So before we get into that, check out the other video if you haven't. I will leave it in the cards, or go to my channel. And if you're not subscribed, go subscribe. But we were talking about how Jason Blum was bringing this, and he was talking about how there's a lot of criticism towards him and Blumhouse for doing this. And I told y'all that that was something that was very prominent with Halloween as well. And so they were pretty much saying, Jason Blum, that they were going to try and appeal to everybody here, all the horror buffs, all the people that are so like about horror is not good nowadays. Like, there hasn't been a good horror film in 20 years, people, those type of people, but also people that were new to the horror genre or new to The Exorcist itself. So there hasn't been an Exorcist film, like I told you on the other video, since 2005, which falls into this continuity. There has been other Exorcist films, but in this franchise, there hasn't been one since 2005. So this is going to be a return to pretty much all of that. And so here's what the New York Times had to say as well. This will also have Leslie Odom Jr. play the father of a possessed girl. Leslie Odom Jr., of course, coming from Hamilton. And what happens here is he becomes desperate and goes out to find help, which he finds from Chris McNeil, who is the mother from the 1973 original film. And this is going to be the first time she has returned to the franchise. So I talked about another Exorcist TV show that was actually part of this sort of like lore as well, and that is Fox's Exorcist, which I hope in some way can get a revival from all of this, but we'll see, because that was actually canceled after season 2, and they had a lot that they were going to do with that. So hearing this, it makes me sort of excited that they would actually bring these characters back, although being played by a different actor. I don't know if they're actually going to do that, because Chris is actually in the TV show as well, but being played by another actress. So, you know, so that's that. They also said the big news here is also that this is going to be a trilogy, and that it would be from Universal and Peacock. They actually did about 400 million to get the rights. So taking a big gamble on this definitely makes me feel that they are very much so like adamant on making this as best as they can. They said that the first film will actually debut on October 13, 2023. So as I said in my previous video, they were waiting for Halloween to sort of like get out of here and then give us the rest of the horror stuff. So Halloween Ends comes out in 2022, so it makes sense for this to come out in 2023. 2 sequels will then follow, and they will all exclusively debut on Peacock, according to the New York Times. And so this is what they had to say as well. They said there's no better time to be joining forces with the team at Peacock, reuniting with the great team at Universal, and finally getting to work with my friends at Blumhouse than on this classic franchise. David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, Scott Teems, and Peter Sadler have put together a compelling continuation of the iconic tale, and I can't wait to bring this to the fans around the world. This was said by David Robinson, who is president of rights holder Morgan Creek. So pretty much they are so stoked and ready for this, and if they are stoked and ready for this, I am as well. So as I said in my previous video, I think that Danny McBride, Scott Teems, and also David Gordon Green did a great job with Halloween. The new one is coming out later this year, so I think that they are definitely on the roll and know how to bring these horror movies to like a new audience, at the same time also being true but giving something new, like a good edge to everything. So I think that they're going to do good with the Exorcist films as they did with the Halloween films, and I'm excited to see what happens with all of this. Let me know what you think, though. However, are you excited for The Exorcist? Do you think they're gonna do it right, or are you scared they're gonna butcher it? Let me know below. Personally, as I said, I think they're gonna get this one right because they did right with Halloween, and The Exorcist show I think lays a good foundation, especially for a newer audience, of where they can really take Exorcist films and take it to another level where it doesn't feel like the same thing over and over again, which was the problem I think with a lot of films in that sort of subcategory of horror. They always felt the same, started off the same, middle was the same, and the end was the same. Whereas opposed, I see the Exorcist show took it in a completely different direction, and I would definitely want that to be the case with all of this coming, um, this new trilogy that I think can definitely be a good pivot to this subgenre that sort of got like trampled on and felt very forced. So, as I said, coming out in 2023, so we shouldn't be getting anything like more than an update here and there, but pictures and trailers probably till next year. I feel like they'll probably start getting all of this done by the end of the year, but won't see anything till next year. So Jason Blum also had this to say about all of this. Blumhouse has always experienced incredible partnership from the team at Universal, and I'm grateful to Donna Langley and Jimmy Horowitz for believing in the vision of David's film and having the foresight to be flexible with distribution, so the team feels top-notch support throughout the lifeline of the film. They're committed to the theatrical exhibition and will also serving streaming viewers well by bringing an exciting franchise like The Exorcist to Peacock 2. I'm grateful to be working with David Robinson and the great team at Morgan Creek on the iconic franchise. So everything about this project is just sounding positive. Everybody's on the same page, and I think that we are definitely going to be getting something special with this. I don't think that they would drop the ball on it at all, and so if they're this excited about it, it just gets me even more excited than I was before, and I'm so ready to see where they take this franchise, because this is definitely going to be one that if it's done right, it's gonna hit so right. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Linda Blair, who played Reagan, has not said if she's coming back or not, or if there's been any discussion. So we'll have to wait and see if we do get her back. It should be interesting, though. It should be interesting. Anyway, if you haven't already gone to the channel to subscribe, go over there, go hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, comment down below, are you excited or not, or what do you think, and which other horror classic do you want be done as a reboot? If I were to say, I would say Psycho. We got Bates Motel, I know, but give me a movie. Give me a movie. That's all I gotta say. And anyways, I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.